What's up, CK Nation? This is the Boss Man CK, and you're locked in for another exciting episode of the CK Motorsports Full Throttle. We're going to break down the race Sunday and how it had tempers, payback, and the track seemed to be going really well and giving some good racing. And we had one big time comeback to go victory lane for a second time this year. So let's hit the gas and let's get it started. Alrighty. So as I said, welcome to the show, everyone. So Texas has a reputation. When you look at Texas Motor Speedway, it has a reputation, in my opinion, of being slick. Sometimes it's chaotic, and sometimes it's both. Oh yeah, this past Sunday's race, though, in my opinion, it delivered everything that we could want, from payback, tempers, to great racing, to would two tires work on the last green flag run, to everything. And the grooves were there. The drivers didn't complain about the track at all. They said it was really good from the point of from the drop of the green. So when you look at the race from the drop of, like I said, from the drop of the green, drivers were already fighting a tricky track. The grip wasn't consistent, but it was there, and there was multiple lanes, and the grooves were changing. And you could tell us early on that it may or may not be a shit show. But it kept us all entertained, in my opinion. It kept me entertained, especially. We saw multiple guys flirting with the wall, tire wear becoming a factor, and strategy already starting to split up the field. I mean, look, NASCAR tried a thing last week at Talladega where they extended the first stage to 90 laps because they were trying to get teams to play the fuel strategy. So they didn't really do that this time, but they still had a long stage of 80 laps, I believe it was, or 80 laps. But either way, you know, and let's be real. At the end of the race, I don't think anybody was really talking about tire fall off. Honestly, the fans weren't even talking about tire fall off. They were talking about the incident that happened, you know, between when you had Ryan Preece taking out Ty Gibbs, or you had Kyle Busch getting what people think is payback. He says no, but we saw it. So let's step into that for a minute. Let's get into it. Ty Gibbs and Ryan Preece. Yes, things got heated and fast. Mid-race, these two got into each other, and it wasn't just a racing deal. You can see it was building over for the past few laps. The tight racing, little contact, and then boom. What looked like Preece just door slammed him from SVG's camera. Put Ty Gibbs in the wall and ended his day. Gibbs ends up getting the worst of it, and he wasn't happy. Neither was Preece. When they interviewed Preece, Ryan Preece said, if that's how he races me, I'm going to race him. I'm not going to cut him any slack. Now, the question is Gibbs really liked around the garage, honestly? Like, when you think about it, is Ty Gibbs really liked in the garage? I mean, he has a history of being aggressive. He races on the edge, and sometimes it works, sometimes it pisses people off. And I think his type of racing Sunday pissed Ryan Preece off. I think Ryan Preece was having a somewhat okay day, and he felt like, you know, if you're going to run me that way, I'm not going to give you any opportunity to continue in this race anymore. So, what does the future hold? You know, like, where does this go? Does it end here at Texas? I mean, honestly, does it? Or do they next week at Watkins Glen or further down the road at a short track? Does Ty Gibbs remember this and gets a receipt on him? Also, NASCAR has a funny way of parking drivers beside each other in the haulers, or beside each haulers on the next race after they've had a run-in with each other. Then if you happen to look on NASCAR Fantasy, if you play NASCAR Fantasy, you happen to see in the bonus points, you'll have Ty Gibbs versus Ryan Preece. And then you pick which one you think is going to fit. So NASCAR has a way of kind of instigating this one. So it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Does Ty Gibbs get payback? Does he remember it and saves it for later on? Or, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, all we can hope for is sit back and watch. I mean, here's the bigger picture. Ty Gibbs is building a reputation. Fast driver? Maybe. No doubt about it. He got his win at Bristol. But moments like this, where he pisses other drivers off, that kind of gives him a reputation. I mean, he didn't have a great reputation in the O'Reilly series when he was down there. So, we'll see what happens. We'll see. Ryan Preece has been another one that's known to hold on to things, hold on to anger, and, say in his mind, hey, look, dude, I'm going to remember this, and I'm going to race you differently. Every week I'm going to race you differently. So we'll see what happens with that. Up next, you had another incident, and this one kind of disappointed me, honestly. But I feel like now, after listening to the radio communication and everything like that, I feel like we got a solid answer on where things are. And here's the thing, too. If you thought that was the only drama with Gibbs and Preece, folks, you were wrong. No. Kyle Busch and John Hunter Nemechek got tangled up in this one on the last lap. Busch, being a veteran, having a great day, in my opinion, in the 3 years that he's been there, other than when he got 3 wins his first year, he was running top 10, top 5 all day long. He had a new crew chief change, which I thought was needed to happen, because the crew chief he did have was not him and Jason, I think his name is Jason Bond. Anyways, they were not getting along. If you listen to the radio in-car communication between them at Bristol, they weren't getting along at all. So, yeah. So, looking at this, Busch is running top 6, top 10. And if you watch the clip, he comes in and I don't know if Spotter told him he was clear or what, but he drifts. Nemechek doesn't let up, but doesn't hook him either. He just gets into him. Well, at the time, what you think when they go into turn 3, it doesn't look like Busch is happy with that. And next thing you know, Busch drifts up and puts Nemechek in the fence. Nemechek called him an ass. Busch said, if you look at the data, you need to realize who you're racing around, because I didn't do that intentionally, but fans might see it the other way. Clint Boyer and them in the booth said that was payback. They automatically assumed that was payback. So, Busch is a veteran guy who's seen it all, in my opinion. But honestly, he doesn't not have the patience for mistakes. And when contact happens, especially from a younger driver trying to prove something like John Hunter Nemechek, it's not going to go over quietly with Busch, in my opinion. It's not. That's just his reputation. If he's having a bad day, stay out of his way. Don't try to make any contact with that dude. We seen it back years ago at Texas. Texas, the same place that this incident happened at Sunday with him and Nemechek. We seen it in the truck race. One lap in, Ron Hornaday and him were racing for the lead. Ron Hornaday ran him rough. He didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. Caution came out. What does Busch do? Runs Hornaday down and puts him in the fence. Ends Hornaday's day in championship hopes. So, Busch is one of them guys that just got that reputation where I don't care how you feel the contact is. In my eyes, this is the contact. I do think Nemechek's out there trying to show that he belongs in the Cup Series. And he's trying to have a good day as well. I mean, both these guys are top 30 in points right now, mid-20s. So, I mean, like, they're trying to have what you would consider a good season. So, he was out there trying to do his thing, and he just, I don't know. I don't know if you blame the spotters on that or who you blame on that, but temper's boiled, and here we are. Don't be surprised, though, if this one carries over in another race or two, or if NASCAR even tries to do anything, because that's a lot of people's question that I've heard from people is, will NASCAR do anything to Busch? Don't know. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. Do I see them doing anything to him? No. Because he has the data that he's posted on his social media stating that he didn't wreck the dude on purpose. But, well, we all saw that tuned in to Texas. It sure looked like payback to me, Kyle. So, all I can say, CK Nation, is we'll see what happens in future races, and we'll see what NASCAR lays out if they do anything. Alrighty, now let's talk about our victory lane winner. Now, this man is a favorite of mine. I'm a fan of him. I won't lie to you, CK Nation. I am a Chase Elliott fan, so I was happy to see him go back to victory lane. Not only for the first time this season, but the second time. Second time. Yes, sir. And it's the second time in a while in the spring that he's been to victory lane. He even said himself he was glad to be there, but Texas Motor Speedway has never been a favorite track of his. Although Chase's first NASCAR O'Reilly's win came at Texas. So, Chase, you may not like the track, but you do have some history there. Your last win with the Hooters sponsor came at Texas. So, there is some kind of magic there. I do think this was a statement win as well for everybody out there that are wondering, has Chase Elliott really figured out the next-gen car yet? Is Alex Gustafson really lost his touch as a crew chief? It makes you wonder, because there has been times where Alex Gustafson has screwed up. At Watkins Glen, he screwed up. Accidentally miscounted, and Chase ran out of gas on the bus stop. But I believe this was a statement win, letting everybody know, hey, we're back, we're figuring it out, and we're going to be a force to reckon with when the championship comes. I mean, he's third in points right now. They've gone back to the traditional chase for the championship, which points mean everything, and a win doesn't matter anymore. And he's consistent. I think the Hendrick cars are having issues, but Chase is breaking through. Byron's having his consistent here and there. Larson, I don't know what's going on with him. He's just having a string of bad luck right now. I guess you could call that the defending champion's bad luck. He's just not catching a break. And honestly, for all you Alex Bowman fans, Bowman's got to do something in my book. He's got to do something. I get the vertigo thing happened because I have vertigo myself. But he's clear now, and he's got to have some consistent runs. And I feel like the hourglass for him in that 48 car is running out. Only because of the fact that you have a man down in the O'Reilly Series that they restarted the O'Reilly Series program for, and that's Corey Day. And I feel like Corey Day is either going to be taking Bowman's ride or someone else's ride. But I really see it being Bowman. So Bowman fans, all I can hope for is Alex can get it together and start getting some consistent runs. He did have a decent run Sunday, and he had a really good run at Talladega last Sunday. So we'll see what happens. It's not the end for him, but to me, this Chase Elliott win just isn't another win. It's momentum. It puts him back in the spotlight. It put Hendrick Motorsports back in the spotlight and back in the conversation. And it probably sends a message to the rest of the garage that they're not here just to ride laps. They're here to contend again and possibly get another championship with whether it be Chase, Larson, Byron, or Bowman. Hendrick Motorsports is still trying to make a statement. And when you look at other teams, and you look at other teams as well, let's take a moment on that as well. When you look at other race teams, Christopher Bell's had bad luck at JGR. He dropped down to 13th in points because he just had what was a freak accident. He was leading. Todd Gilliland spilling out. Bell tried to miss him, and bam! Bell smacked the outside wall, and that was it. His day was over. Also, Ty Gibbs having his problems with Ryan Preece cost him his day. Denny Hamlin ran solid all day long. Finished second. Chase Briscoe starting to climb back up for JGR. So JGR is there. They just need to try to get it together a little bit. Also, 2311 still making them statements, man. They're still making them statements. Yes, Tyler Reddick didn't win, but he finished top 5. Riley Hurts finished top 10, or right outside top 10, one of his best runs in a while. Bubba Wallace in a backup car finished in top 10. So 2311's hanging in there. The guys that really give me a little bit of concern, question-wise, is Trackhouse and what's going on there. I mean, I don't know what's happening there. Chastain is their highest points person right now. I think he's 18th or 20th in points. I know he's top 20, but he's outside the bubble. SVG, unfortunately, is doing what we all thought, and that was without the road courses, his dominance isn't there. Yes, he has strides. Yes, he is getting better on some parts of the ovals, but he still has a long way to go. Connor Zillage is another one that was kind of a letdown, I think, for a lot of people. You looked at him in the O'Reilly Series last year, won 10 races, and people said, oh, he's going to be something when he gets the cup. Well, he's having a rookie year. He's running solid, but he's not consistent yet. Also, so Trackhouse has a lot of work to do. I know they're going to get it right. So we'll see. Back to my point on Richard Childress Racing and Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, I think, when it comes to Kyle Busch, honestly, I think he's frustrated. I really do, folks, and CK Nation. I think he's frustrated. I think he's frustrated at the fact that he's not in that winning operation like he was with JGR. And he's not used to, I wouldn't say bad equipment, but not JGR or Hendrick type equipment. Because let's be real, people. Let's be real. In my opinion, and maybe y'all's, and y'all can comment on this as well, RCR is nowhere near right now to what the other Chevy programs are as far as Hendrick, Spire. Spire's doing wonders right now with Carson Hocevar, Daniel Suarez, top 10 or top 16 in points. Both them guys rolling. So that's what I'm saying. Like, RCR is not there. They need to get back there where they were when Kyle Busch came in. When Kyle Busch got 3 wins, they need to get back to that. I do think the crew chief change was good for him, but again, we all know the true Kyle Busch, and we all know how much of a jerk he can be when he gets frustrated. And when you listen to some of his radio from Texas, you can see the frustration there, especially how he's taking it out on his pit crew and his crew chief. I think Kyle Busch overall is frustrated with just, I hate the word, use the word sucking, but just not being able to compete like Kyle Busch thinks he should. And I wonder about that sometimes as well. And I wonder if that is the program. Because some people say too, is it the car? Is it the next gen car? I don't really know. It could be. Because when you look at it, Kyle Busch goes to Spire, wins in the truck race, and trucks in Spire, finished second, P2 Saturday night or Friday night. And congratulations to his teammate Carson Hocevar for winning the truck race on Friday. He gets in O'Reilly's car, he wins in that. But he gets in the next gen car, the cup car, and it just seems like things are just a little off. And you wonder if that's really him not being able to adapt to the car, but I don't know because he's won in the car. So you can't really use that logic, I would say. But at the same point, what is it really that's going on there? So I'm sure time will tell. We'll figure it out. And I'm sure they'll figure it out. And he'll have more runs. He's just got to keep his head straight. So, my final thoughts of this show for you guys is I think Texas gave us everything we could have asked for more this past Sunday. It gave us tempers, torn up cars, Look at the melee on pit road. Joey Logano running right in the back end of Sam Mayer. Chase Briscoe accidentally getting into Larson. There was a lot of melee on pit road. And it got us a trip to victory lane for one of the sport's biggest names and his second win of the year. My question to you, CK Motorsports Nation, is if this is any sign, what is that sign and what's coming next? Because honestly, I believe we're in for one heck of a season. Because the new points system that they're running right now is proven. You have to be competitive. You just can't win and then ride around for the rest of the season until playoffs start. You got to be competitive. You got to bring your best every week. So, with that being said, please continue to subscribe to the pet channel, and subscribe to Facebook or YouTube channel, CK Full Throttle. Also, follow me on TikTok because we also play the episodes on there as well. Follow me on there, and continue to grow the nation, and continue to let your voices be heard. And any comments you got, hit me up with them. I'll be sure to glad to answer them during shows and all this and that. You guys are awesome, and I can't do this without you, and I appreciate y'all support every week. Every week, man. I never thought, honestly, I'd do this again. But here I am doing it for y'all, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. So until then, I'm the boss man, CK. This is Full Throttle, and I'll catch you next time.